So my childhood was a little bit different than most people. I had bacterial meningitis, 9 months old, below the knee amputee on both legs. Doctor said I wouldn't live. If I lived, I would be a vegetable. I had 113-degree fever, and the good Lord and some really great doctors saved me. I had to just learn how to live life, and that's what I did. It made me become a very strong-minded, strong-willed individual. Now I tell people, like, don't sit at home and find your reason. There's a reason. You can get out and do it. It just takes maybe a lot more work than someone else, but everybody can get off the couch and go do whatever they want to do. My name is Hunter Baughman, and this is my story. This is home, Judsonic, Arkansas, a town that nobody's ever heard of if they're more than 30 miles from here. Just north of Searcy, Arkansas, central Arkansas. I love it. We're 5 minutes from town, but yet we're in the country. Got cattle fields across the road from us. It's just nice, out of the city limits living. So this is my dad's old truck. He drove it for like, I don't know, 14 years or so, 13 years. He put almost 200,000 miles on it. Then my father-in-law bought it from my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law actually passed away in a boating accident, and then my father-in-law drove it, and it needed a little work, and I bought it from him last year. And I get my dad's old truck back and my brother-in-law's truck, and just use it to beat around and hunt with mainly. So my childhood was a little bit different than most people. Obviously, below the knee amputee on both legs. I had bacterial meningitis, 9 months old. Doctor said I wouldn't live. If I lived, I would be a vegetable. I had 113-degree fever, and the good Lord and some really great doctors saved me, and I'm here. I did lose both legs below the knees. I lost all my fingers on my left hand, partial fingers on my right. So it was a little bit different growing up. You know, I wanted to be normal, and most of my buddies in my family treated me normal. Mom, Dad, they didn't let me assume anything else. Like, I had to just learn how to live life, and that's what I did. I grew up in the outdoors. I mean, that's a loving family. I've got a sister that's 16 years younger than me, so for most of my young life, I was an only child. My dad worked hard a lot. He took, you know, he would work at night, and then he'd get home of a morning and take me fishing. That's some of my earliest memories of fishing. My grandpa would go with us some, and then Mom actually deer hunted with me some, and it was just a life in the outdoors most of the time. I had prosthetics, and I played soccer and basketball in junior high. That was neat. I didn't like the way the prosthetics fit me, so I kind of decided to quit wearing those as a teenager and just be in the chair. I've tried to do everything everybody else did. I always tell everybody that I do it one way, you do it a different way. You know, and I think my way is normal, but apparently everybody else's way is normal. So, immediate family, Andrea, Kinley and Cassidy. We tried for 7 years to have kids, and before we were pregnant with Kinley, and then almost immediately afterwards we're pregnant with Cassidy, so there's 18 months in between them, I think.
My name is Andrea, and I'm Hunter's wife. My favorite thing about Hunter would probably be his drive. He puts passion into everything that he does, and I mean, whether it's, you know, fishing or hunting or fixing something or being a dad, like, he gives it 100% every single time. And I mean, you can't ask for more from a man that will give everything he's got to what he's doing.
So outside of fishing, my other passions, obviously spending time with my wife and kids. My girls are my life for sure. I'm so glad I get to carry them on the road when we do go fish. Say hi, this is Cassidy. This is the new one, the baby. She's 4 months old. You know, I spent a lot of time with them before the kids. I fished a ton. Like, I fished like 4 or 5 days a week, and I don't get to do that as much now, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We get to go do a lot of stuff. Sunday's always our day. If I'm home, Sunday's church day. Go out and eat, spend time at the park, spend time with family, whatever we need to do. But it's always my day with my girls. And then I'm very blessed that I get to make my schedule and be home quite a bit. So when I'm gone, I'm gone. They are on the road with me, but I'm still not there most of the time for that. But when I'm home, I'm home, you know, and I do fish a tournament about every Saturday when I'm home. But other than that, I'm here with the girls, and we hang out and go just play on the swing set in the backyard, play with the dog, whatever. Just spend time with them. My favorite part about being a dad is just the love you have for them, and to see the love they have for you. You know, when she looks at me and says, "Daddy, I love you," when Kinley does, Cassie obviously too young, but when Kinley looks at you and says, "Daddy, I love you," it's just, man, there's nothing like it in the world. I love to hunt. I duck hunt. I'm crazy about deer hunting. I mean, absolutely. If I could deer hunt all year, I don't even think I'd own this boat. I don't even think I'd own a bass boat. I'm sick about deer hunting, and I go to multiple states usually in the winter and hunt with some different friends, and it's what I love to do. When championships and stuff usually wind down around October, November, and when it's done, I try to get the boat sold and another boat ordered, and I'm done. Like, I don't want to talk about fishing. Don't call me and talk to me about fishing. I want to hunt. I want to talk about hunting. That's all I want to talk about. I don't want to see fishing. I don't want anything to do with it. That has changed as the NPFL has grown, and I've grown as an individual in the fishing world. You know, now sponsorships and stuff, we have to work through the winter. But I try to take it as a mental reset, you know, and really, I really love the deer hunt.
So talk about how long you've been married to Hunter.
We, this October will be 10 years. We dated for 2 years, and then we have been married for 10. So Hunter and I were married probably a year or so still pretty new. And I was on the phone and making dinner at the same time, and I was doing a recipe, and I was on the phone with my mom, and I said, "Oh crap, that was supposed to be a teaspoon of salt," and I used a tablespoon. And I was talking to my mom, and I was like, "I'm just not going to tell him and see if he says anything." So he ate the whole meal and never said a word. And then at the end, he was like, "That was really salty, but I know you accidentally added too much salt." So I felt really bad, but not bad enough.
Andrea is a great cook, luckily, because I'm a terrible cook. What's my favorite dessert?
Chocolate pie, right? Or anything else I cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything you cook, honey. My situation, it made me become a very strong-minded, strong-willed individual because things weren't easy to do. I mean, something as simple as going across campus at school, or getting in a house, or whatever. It wasn't as easy, you know, as it would be for someone else. It was definitely different, and it made me just strong-willed that I had to do whatever it took to get whatever needed to be done. My parents really instilled that in me and told me that I couldn't feel sorry for myself. There was no point in that. And it's something I've taken to heart. Now I tell people, I get to go speak now and do some motivational speaking. I tell them it's dumb to sit at home. Like, don't sit at home and find your reason. There's a reason. You can get out and do it. It just takes maybe a lot more work than someone else, but everybody can get off the couch and go do whatever they want to do. Fishing means to me, it's not only is it's an escape for me, it's something I love. Like, I just like catching fish. It doesn't even have to be bass. I like catching fish. But it's an escape. It's just God's nature to be able to see, you know, what God's created. And also it's like, obviously NPFL not as much, but other tournaments I fish, partners, co-anglers, I get to share my story. You know, I get to tell them. I've always said fishing is a way for me to share what God's done for me, my story with those people, and do what I love while I'm sharing. One of my best fishing memories, I remember growing up, like until I got into the bass fishing thing as a teenager, all we had was a flat bottom with an 8-horse, a 14-foot boat. I remember being in it on the Arkansas River with my dad and my grandpa and catching big crappie, and I remember stopping and being like, I'm tired, I can't wind in any more fish. I don't know how many we caught a bunch. I'll always remember that because they talked about that, my grandpa talked about that till the day he died. Very involved in my faith with the Lord, and I go to church groups and things like that and speak, and at that I'll tell my testimony and how God has saved me, and I kind of do a parallel where I talk about my life as a fisherman, as an outdoorsman, and my life and my walk with God, and how as I made my walk with God better, the rest of my life got better.
So the first time Hunter took me fishing, middle of July, and he was like, we're just gonna go look at a few spots because I've got a tournament and we'll be done in an hour or two. We don't even need ice or drinks or anything. And I had a hair appointment later, and I was like, well, we can't be on the water too long because I've got to go get my hair done. And we broke down, and when we were supposed to be back at like 9, we didn't get back till after 3 o'clock. And I had no sunscreen on and looked like a lobster.
It was
and
hot.
It was very hot. I mean, middle of July, over 100 degrees, I'm sure. And it was miserable. And I've been fishing with him a little bit since then, but I don't go all the time.
One thing about myself that I'd like the world to know is God is good. I mean, God's there for you when everything else fails. God is still there, always. Don't worry about your circumstances, whatever's going on in your life. Life can be bad, but it'll always get better, and times will be better, and just hang in there. My name is Hunter Baughman, and this is my story.